Good morning, people. Hope you've had a really good weekend. I know I have. Yeah. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. No meat today. No meat. I do occasionally like a vegetarian dish, and this one is one of my favourites. It's an aubergine parm. Aubergine Parmigiana. Mamma mia. So I'm going to bring you down and show you the ingredients. Right guys, so we have 2 tins of tomatoes, better chopped, but I'll just put them through the food processor and chop them up myself. Some basil. It's supposed to be 1 onion, but we didn't have any onions left, so I'm just using 6 shallots. Some mozzarella, some Parmigiano Reggiano, obviously, 2 aubergines, some red wine vinegar, and I'm going to make some breadcrumbs to go on the top, which will be the first thing that I will probably do. So we'll get cracking, eh? Right guys, so the first thing I'm going to do, just to get it warmed up, I'm going to put a knob of butter into a pan, which I've just got on a low heat for now. I'll just let that melt away, and I'm just going to blitz up the breadcrumbs, the bread now. Right, so I'm just going to roughly chop this bread up, and then you can add some garlic or whatever with this, but I'm just going to do this and then fry them off. So into the food processor this goes. There we go, and give it, pulse it until right. Oh, maybe a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more. Perfect. So now once this has come up, I think this is just about, it's not far off to be fair. So I'll bring you back in 1 second guys and put it in the pan. Right, into the pan this will go. You could put this in the oven. Oops, take that out. You could put this oven and bake it, I suppose, with some butter or like fry light. But I'm just going to do this and fry it off till it's nice and golden brown, put it in a bowl, and away we go. Right, well these have had about 5 minutes, as you can see, going a nice golden brown. So it is, instead of breadcrumbs done in the oven, it's going to be a bit like fried bread I suppose, but it has the same effect. So I'm just going to give this a few more minutes until I'm happy with the colour and the caramelisation, should we say. Right, they've had another 3-4 minutes, and if you can see that lovely golden brown effect. So I'm going to turn that off and put them into a bowl on some kitchen roll, just to get rid of the excess, if there's any excess fat on there. So as you can see, they look blooming delicious. And they'll be set aside ready to put on top of the Parmigiana at the last stage. Right, I'll bring you back in a second guys. Right, so instead of chopped tomatoes we just had normal plum tomatoes, so I've put them in the food processor, the little one, just to quickly waz up, and there's a couple of ingredients I forgot to mention that goes in there which are quite vital. Oregano, however you want to pronounce it, and I like to put same sort of mixture, Italian herbs, just into the sauce itself, and that gives it a nice depth of flavour. So I've added about 2 teaspoons of this Italian dried seasoning. I should have put this in when I wazzed it up, but I forgot. But that'll all come together nicely later on. So that's just a nice little addition to the tomato itself. Right guys, I forgot to mention there's also a clove of garlic that goes in there. Crush it, give it a good chop. Chop it up. You could slice it, you can chop it up into small pieces, which is my preference, but this is to go into it at a later stage. So that is the garlic done. Alright guys, I've got 2 aubergines, so this is the prep for them. I usually get rid of this, just slap these back a little bit, get rid of them. Chop it off somewhere near the end, just get rid of that bit. Get rid of those. Right, so the way I do it, you can do it long ways if you want, but I quite like to do it this way. Okay, you're only going to get a little bit. You can take the skin off if you're not keen, and I do them about deep, what, 4 or 5 millimeters. Slice it. Just keep repeating. These are going to be grilled. You can use your grill on your oven, but I'm going to use the grill on the Ninja. So you get the nice bar marks on them. Oops. And you do exactly the same to the other one, and I'll come back to you when it's time to put them in the grill. Right guys, I'm just going to chop the basil up. I've saved a piece just for garnish at the end of the dish. So I use stalks and all. I just chop it up. If you don't fancy the stalks, just leave them out. I always find it's a bit of a waste. So I just like to roughly chop this. Some goes in the sauce, and some goes actually into the dish. So if I remember rightly, it didn't have to be too fine. Just bring it together so you've got a nice big handful of chopped basil. I love basil, it's so fragrant and tasty, and of course being an Italian dish it's like a staple, so it goes in everything. So there you go, that's the basil chopped. Alright guys, I've had these in for about 5 minutes. I'm just going to flip them. So this is going to take a little bit of time, you just keep your eye on them. And there's quite a few bits of aubergine. So I did spray some olive oil on the top of them before I started. So I'm just going to do the other side the same thing. And back under they go. Right guys, so that's the first batch done. So you just repeat the process until you've cooked all your aubergine. As you can see, they're partially cooked, but they will be going in the oven as well to finish off. Right guys, so while the aubergine's finishing off, in go the shallots. Note to self, make sure you buy onion next time, because it's proper fiddly trying to do 6 shallots rather than 1 big onion. In go the shallots and the garlic as well, if I can get the garlic off. And oh, come on man. Right, garlic and shallots finely chopped, or as finely chopped as you can get. and we'll just soften these up for 5-6 minutes and I'll come back to you. I'm also adding a teaspoon of oregano in here. Fresh would have been better, but unfortunately I couldn't find any in the shops, so and we just keep your eye on this, turn it down a little bit so it doesn't burn. You don't want your garlic to burn or your oregano or the onions for that matter. We just want to gently sweat these down for a few minutes. I'll come back when it's a bit further on. Alright, so these have sweated down very nicely. So now it's time to put in the tomato, which I'm going to sweat there. There we go. In goes the tomatoes. Give it a good mix. Give it a mix. I think I've overdone the tomatoes a little bit when I put them in the food processor. It's more like passata now, but hey. Right, so you turn this up. You now proceed to bring this up to the boil. Turn it down once it comes up to the boil and then simmer for 15 minutes. Right guys, so that has had now 15 minutes simmering away. So everything there now is nicely cooked in the sauce. It's quite chunky with the onions. So now we add the seasoning in. I'm probably going to add just short of a spoonful of salt, maybe a teaspoonful of salt there, and some cracked black pepper, which personally I quite like a lot of. So there we go. Give that a stir. I also add, you can either use red or white wine vinegar, just a little splash, just to give it a little bit of bite. You can leave it out if you want to. It just gives it a nice taste. So I'm going to try, season. I'm going to taste it, see what it's like. That's perfect. Just enough salt, pepper, and the vinegar. Nice taste to it. So I'm going to turn that off, and we'll give it 5 minutes to cool down a bit, and we'll start assembling. Right. I forgot. I'm going to add the rest of the basil in there. Basil's got to go in. That gives it a lovely freshness. I mean, you can add it in over the top at the end, but I like to put it in the sauce. It just brings a lovely light note to the sauce. So that is the sauce just about done. Right guys, it's now time to construct the dish. So I always put a nice layer on the bottom of the sauce, like so, and a little smattering of the Parmigiana, just a little bit into there. Just a little bit, acts like a little bit of a seasoning. Right, is that, and now a layer of the aubergines, which will go like so. I should have maybe bought 3, but I bought 2. You'll get a couple of layers out of it, at least 2 or 3 layers. Put some of the little ones in the middle. Right, and then obviously another layer of the tomato sauce, which smells absolutely delicious. The kitchen smells bloody lovely. Right, so then again repeat, more Parmigiano, mamma mia. I love doing this dish, so tasty, and it's proper healthy as well, vegetarian obviously. So let's keep sprinkling it in. Another layer. That. And again repeat. Another layer of aubergines. I think we're only going to get 2 layers today. Might be lucky if we get a third. I'm not so sure. Trying to get the bigger pieces in first. I reckon we might get 1 more layer in there. So, right, hold on, excuse me a second. That's while I get the rest of this sauce on top of this dish. Right, I think we might have just enough for the last few of the aubergines. What I'll do is I'll just make it up like that down the middle. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's going to go in the oven anyway and it'll be baking away nicely. And there's Missy whinging to go out again. She's just been out for 10 minutes. She just loves being outside. Right, so I'll just get the last bit of the sauce out of the pan. Get that, as much of that on there as I can. Oh, messy, messy, messy. Not Lionel Messi, just messy. Right. Give that a bit of a smooth over. Try and get the sauce over the aubergines. Right. Okay, so now, do you remember earlier on I fried those breadcrumbs off? So now you scatter these evenly across the top. Give you a nice texture at the end. Make sure, try and get it as even as you can so it's gone, so every little bit is covered. Right, get that on there. Right, so that is that. And there's one last addition, which I will come back to in 1 second because I haven't chopped it up yet. Alright guys, so the last but not least is the addition of, excuse me, some mozzarella, which will lovely melt into this pan, into this dish at the end. Try and sink it in a little bit so it melts in. Right, that is the dish completed. So I'm in between my shifts at the minute, so this will be put in the oven 190 degrees for 30 minutes tonight when I finish work, and obviously we'll show you that bit later. So but for now, that's the dish all ready to be cooked. I'm so forgetful, guys, today. I don't know what's going on. I forgot to say I've just put another layer of Parmesan cheese on top of that as well. That looks absolutely yummy. So it will go in the oven later on when I finish work, 190 degrees, 30 minutes. Now then, just finished work, oven's just come up to temp, so it is now going to go into the oven for 40 minutes. There we go. In it goes. Timer on. $20, $30, there we go. We'll come back to you when it is done. Right, 30 minutes is up. Let's have a look at this little beauty. Oh, woof, 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 woof. I always do that. That is steamed up. Woo! Oh my god, that smells absolutely unbelievable. Oh, look at that, baby. Get the light on there. Shine a light on that. Ho 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 ho. A little bit caramelizer on the edge, but I don't mind a bit of caramelization. Obviously we're going to have to let this cool down just a little bit because it'll be hotter than the face of the sun. So it will come back in about 20 minutes or so. Let it cool down a bit. Right, this has had about half an hour now to cool down. So I'm now going to cut myself some nice little portion of this beauty. Get it whacked. Oh, it's so soft. You can feel it, it's velvety. I'm just going to try and get this out in one. How good it is going to be, I don't know. But there we go. It smells absolutely delicious. So, bring you over. And there it is. Aubergine parm. Or if you want to be posh, aubergine parmigiana. I'm going to give this a bite, give it a whirl, and have a little bit of a taste. Right, so here we go. Yum, 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 yum. Gonna have a little taste. Oh. Oh. Man, that's good. It's almost like it's got meat in it with the shallots. I'm going to get a bit with this mozzarella in. If I can show you. Oh well, the whole bit of mozzarella's come out. Get it in me. Get it in me gob. Oh. Oh. You know what? Sometimes you can make a vegetarian dish and it's just as tasty as anything else you can make with meat. I love it. Nice little bit of crunch on the top off the breadcrumbs. The aubergine's perfectly cooked and it's soaked up all that lovely tomato. Oh. Just missing maybe a little bit of garlic bread to go with it. Garlic bread? It's a taste sensation. Right guys, well, so thank you very much for watching. That was my aubergine parm. I hope you might want to try and make it and give it a go and tell me what you think. Comment and subscribe if you wish. I will see you very, very soon, guys. Bye for now.